we're going to take a look at binomial option valuation using state of two worlds. Here's our data: stock, strike, risk-free rate, time. We can help calculate time by coming over here. If we know it's 90 days, that will be divided by 365. This spreadsheet, we're going to work with 1 year for simplicity. Keep this at 10%. Say it's going to go up 10% and down 10%. Here's our calculation for P up. It's actually a little more complicated because we actually subtracting 1 times and 1 minus. So it's a little bit more complicated. This is the actual formula up here. So if you want to take a look at that. Over here, it's P down is 1 minus P up. So that's where we get 0.2 from. Here's our stock prices. We start out with $35 and we're going to work up and out. We add 10%, we subtract 10%. So we're going to use, in this case, the I4. So we add 10%, we subtract 10%. SU2 takes SU, adds 10%. SD2 takes SD, subtracts 10%. This is the combination of the two. If we can see this formula, we're going to take C18, multiply it by up, and then multiply it by down. 1 plus up and 1 plus down. Not P up, just percent up and down. That formula is listed here. SUD. Okay. All the other ones use SU and SD, as you can see the difference. Okay, now that we have our stock prices, we calculated that. Now we have our intrinsic value, which is the stock minus the strike price. Okay, we have $35 and a $30 strike, so we get 5, so forth and so on. Let's take a look at these last two. This one's $31.50 and $28.35. $28.35 is less than the strike price, so we have 0. We can't have less than 0. Here's $1.50. So we use the max function to raise it. If it's less than 0, we're going to take max takes the highest number in the field. So in this case, it'll be 0 because it'll be less. Here's our call value. Here's where the state of two worlds comes in. We use probability. That's where the P up and the P down is. P is for probability. It's the probability of up and the probability of down. Even though it's 10%, that's how this works out. Here's how we get our prices. This is just our intrinsic value because we need to start somewhere. We start here, and that's our intrinsic value for the end node. Same here and here. Here's our intrinsic value, and it's brought down here. For call up, we use the probability. Here we go. So this probability times up plus the probability times down. And that's where we get this factor, and then we divide it by the risk-free rate plus 1 to time. And that's how it's 1 plus the risk-free rate to time. And that's how we discount it. Same here. We get the probability of up, probability of down, and we come up with our answer. Same thing, risk-free rate plus 1 to the time. Right? E7 should be time, just to verify. And that's E7 time. So this is where time comes in and is important, and also the P up. Time doesn't have much effect on the stock or anything else, but in this point, time is important. And we get our final answer. Same thing, up, down, and divided by E6 and the risk-free rate. The risk-free rate to time. And that is how we do our state of two worlds binomial calculations. This is not the preferred method to use, but it is one that is studied.